Hello there, geeks and gamers. As your resident PC gamer, who better to give you a recap of PC Gamer's PC Gaming Show? So without further ado, PC Gamer, as in the publication, not just a guy who plays PC games, puts on this show every year, and it's usually one of the weaker E3 conferences. With E3 cancelled this year, PC Gamer didn't let that stop them from bringing the cringe. So I'll skip all that weird stuff with their mascot dev bot and just break down the games that they showed us. They kick things off with Valheim, which seems to be a survival game of sorts, and while the visuals don't look great at a glance, it immediately made me aware that they were not going to be showing games in 60 frames a second during this stream. Luckily, the re-uploads did look a lot better. Anyway, Valheim looks like it could be an okay time if you want to fight monsters as a Viking, even if it does kind of look like a PS2 game with better lighting. Ooblets was up next, and this game is most famous for being announced as an Epic exclusive, after which the devs took the don't like it, don't buy it stance with their fans who didn't like that, before they left social media due to the harassment that stoked. I mean, don't harass developers, but also if you are a developer, don't tell your fans don't like it, don't buy it. You want their money, don't act like you don't. Torchlight 3 was up next, and this series is essentially a more colorful, low-budget Diablo. If you like ARPGs, this series is worth checking out for sure. Next, the spaceflight sim Elite Dangerous showed off its new expansion Odyssey, in which you can explore planets on foot. This should put the game in a good spot to stay competitive with No Man's Sky and Star Citizen going forward. Following that, Greg Miller acted like he gives a rat's ass about the PC in order to introduce Persona 4 Golden. I'm not a huge fan of Miller's after how he handled the situation with Colin Moriarty back in 2017, but Persona 4 is a damn good game, and it's cool to see Atlus bringing the game to PC, as it'll hopefully mean that the other Persona games can branch out from the PlayStation 2, as this series would really be at home on Switch. They announced it as available now on Steam, and I bought it immediately. I'll give this game another run the second I finish the Trails series, as it was seriously that good. The anime is pretty solid as well, and don't forget, Rise is best girl. Next up, Modus's In Sound Mind was shown and announced it has a demo out on Steam. I played it and my initial impressions are that it is spooky. The mystery is intriguing and the environment is very unsettling. New Blood entered the arena with not only a strong showing of amazing retro shooters, but a bit of developer comedy content which was not cringe. Dave Oshry is a great person to follow on Twitter as he's hilarious and does a great job engaging with the boomer shooter community. I'll just play the clip and let him do his own talking.
Yeah, so we got a lot going on, right? I mean, some guys come out here, they show like some cinematic trailer and then tell you it's coming out in a year. We got 6 games and you can play all of them
right now.
We couldn't afford to do a cinematic trailer if we wanted to, right? So yeah, Dusk, now with mods, check them out at duskmods.com. There's all kinds of crazy a Medieval, now with RTX, DLSS 2.0 is coming, maximum action, new levels are coming, new features, new guns. Unfortunate Spaceman is now completely free to play. It, why not? Check that one out, 16-player co-op, it's crazy, it's like The Thing in space. Faith, of course, if you don't know about Faith.
Now you know.
Ultra Kill, our new retro shooter with style. If you like games like Devil May Cry and Quake, that's what that's about. And then of course Gloomwood, if you like games like Thief, System Shock, Resident Evil, then I think Gloomwood is definitely the game for you.
Where can we go to learn more?
So you can check out Dusk at notfortnite.com, a Medieval at ican'tbelievei'snothexen.com, Maximum Action at shootyboom.com, Unfortunate Spaceman at deaderspace.com, that's deaderspace.com, Faith at GaryLovesYou.com, Ultra Kill at DevilMayQuake.com, and then of course Gloomwood at ThiefWithGuns.com. Yeah, that's all we got. 6 games, you can play them all right now. We love you.
And we hate money.
There's a review of Dusk on my channel, and I strongly recommend checking out it and a Medieval, as they're fantastic. I haven't put much time into Maximum Action or Ultra Kill, but the time I have put into both has been intense and over the top. Unfortunate Spaceman, Faith, and Gloomwood I have not played as of yet, but Unfortunate Spaceman is on my to-do list. Honestly, I'd be playing it right now if I wasn't making this video. Dwarfheim is yet another Heim game that was shown, and it looks like a neat little RTS, and Humankind followed it up with some grand strategy. Icarus is a build and hunt stuff on an alien planet survival game. Not really my genre personally, but it looks okay if you're into that. The developer of the PSP Star Wars Battlefront games, Rebellion, is back with Evil Genius 2. I've not played the original, but it looks charming and quirky. Next, we saw some Godfall gameplay and clarification that it's a looter slasher. Basically, it sounds like a cross between God of War and Borderlands. After New Blood brought the boomer shooter heat, another game the composer of the aforementioned Medieval and Dusk scored dropped a new trailer. Full disclosure, I kickstarted Proteus, and because of that, you may see a video on my alpha test impression soon, but it essentially looks like a neat hybrid of a boomer shooter with a modern shooter. I'm really looking forward to it. Humble is publishing it, which is almost a shame because it looks like it'd be right at home on New Blood's lineup. Fey Tactics is another Humble game, and while it looks like a solid game, if you want an ode to Final Fantasy Tactics, please give Felseal Arbiter's Mark a shot. It is awesome. Humble also showed off CARTEL, which has cute art, but it looks sorta boring, not a great trailer. Lethal Lightning was talking about Ace Combat on this week's podcast, and Humble may also be giving him a reason to get a PC with Project Wingman. That discussion was in the context of a Star Wars Battlefront flight sim campaign, which Everspace 2 looks like it could compete with. And this trailer really made me want to check out Everspace 1. Seriously, never heard of these games, they look really good. Next up was what seemed like an off-brand LEGO game mixed with Splatoon and Little Big Planet called Blanco's Block Party. Inclinati is a side-scrolling strategy game with cool art and a funny tone, but I can't say the trailer told me much more than that. Total War Troy was shown, and the big story with this one is that not only is it an Epic Store exclusive, it will be free on launch day. They really want to pull you away from Steam, but my boycott is holding strong like the walls of Troy, and I don't trust no horses. Next, they presented an indie montage, which was a series of rapid-fire mini-trailers, which I'll further condense into these mentions. Shadows of Doubt, The Forgotten City, Paradise Killer, Haven, this one looks damn good and is on Game Pass. Cartel Tycoon, Trash Sailors, Chris Tales, finally, Alaloth. That's a mouthful, but it's written by Chris Avalon. Remnant from the Ashes is an awesome game, and it's getting a new expansion which looks to bring in a race similar to the Skaven from Warhammer. The Remnant from the Ashes Vermintide DLC is dropping later this year, and if you haven't played this mashup of Dark Souls, Resident Evil, and Diablo, it's worth checking out. Also, the DLC is called Subject 2923. Vermintide is another really good game about fighting off the Skaven. A Mafia remake is happening, and while it sort of looked impressive, it also had a big, not actual gameplay subtitle at the bottom, so, could be good. Rogue Lords is another side-scrolling strategy game, with this one being a roguelike, which has 3D graphics. I really recommend playing Darkest Dungeon if you want to play a game like this. You can even find it on Switch, and it's awesome. Unexplored 2, Wayfarer's Legacy, is a top-down roguelike, and it looked pretty cool, but sadly for me is yet another Epic exclusive. However, it was not the kick in the balls that the next game was. Mortal Shell is a Dark Souls clone, but it's a damn good looking one. The art, textures, light, and animation are all top tier, and the combat looks weighty and intense. Sadly, I'll be waiting a year after release to play it. They even showed an extended boss fight. Damn you, Epic Store, knock off the exclusivity crap and let us buy these games where we want to buy them. Shadow Man was an N64 game, which apparently had a large enough fanbase to warrant a remaster. It looks like it's mostly an up-res with a frame rate that looks decidedly better than most N64 games, but it still has those trademark blurry textures. Tripwire showed up talking about a new Killing Floor 2 update as well as crossplay for their upcoming Chivalry 2, and I'm always a fan of crossplay. However, Manhunter turned out to be an Epic exclusive, so I'm betting that Chivalry will be as well. Just like all the other games in the next montage. Epic sponsored this show, so it's no surprise that the hosts acted like Epic exclusivity was this awesome, exciting thing, but it made me want to puke. Also, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is definitely going to be on Ubisoft's Uplay, so Epic exclusive just means you can't buy this on the objectively better platforms like Steam and GOG. Blightbound is coming to Steam, and it's a co-op dungeon crawler with a cool art style, which kind of reminds me of Dragon's Crown, sadly without the busty mage lady. Devolver Digital's Weird West is an ARPG with a really cool setting and tone. I'll be keeping my eye on this one, it looks cool. It's also got some of the talent from the Dishonored games behind it. Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town, looks like a 3D Stardew Valley, and I have a feeling it'll be a day one buy for X-Ray Girl. I bought her Stardew Valley on GOG's Valentine's Day sale, and still together, so it didn't not work. Crucible was Amazon's first game. It's a free-to-play third-person shooter, and it sucks. I uninstalled it after about 3 matches, and even though it was free, I still felt like it was too expensive. But their MMO, The New World, looks alright, actually. Don't Nod showed off their next game, and it seems like another Life is Tumblr-style narrative adventure. It may not be, but they didn't show any gameplay, so I'll assume it is, and that you should just hope ER makes a hilarious video on it. By the way, you should watch ER's Life is Tumblr, it's amazing. Metal Hellsinger is a damn interesting concept. It's a first-person shooter rhythm game. Sort of in the same style as Crypta the Necrodancer, but instead of A Link to the Past mixed with DDR, it's Doom Eternal mixed with Guitar Hero. Red Sails kinda looks like Wind Waker in a desert, and color me interested. It looks pretty neat. I'm getting a Journey vibe, and that's not a bad thing. Hello Games showed off their new game, which is not No Man's Sky related, and it looks like a cute emotional adventure about Jawa-looking critters. Krista, if you're watching this, stop hyperventilating. Surgeon Simulator was a hilarious VR game, and the sequel looks to double down on that. It may go a bit too far with the ability to walk around the hospital and the addition of quirky characters, but I hope they nail it. Also an Epic exclusive, which I shouldn't even be surprised by at this point. Escape from Tarkov showed off their new map, and while I haven't ever played this game, it does look quite slick. Finally, the show is closed out with a new game in the Outlast franchise called Outlast Trials, which appears to add co-op to the formula. I've always found co-op horror to be a bit weird because it's so much scarier to feel alone in these situations, but here's hoping they pull it off. Woo, that took a while. Good thing the same publication network didn't have another gaming showcase on the same day with a ton of overlapping content. Oh,